Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This is Tasha M. Dye, the Trade Whisperer. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you log into the line this evening, I'm saying this evening, see, I'm ready to end the call right now. No, I'm just kidding. But as you log on this morning, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Drop it in the chat. Y'all got to give me a moment to get my mind back together. So now I'm just, we're going to have fun this morning, but I just kind of want to talk to you guys about what transpired in between the calls. So we'll definitely get to that. We'll analyze some charts here this morning. We'll see what our indices are doing. And the biggest thing is what we must understand is anytime we have a non-farm payroll week, this is a really, really good week to really kind of just hone in on your skill set. It's a really, really good week. As we discussed this morning on the 5 a.m. call, kind of, shows you all where our scalpers live, where you all live and how you can be impacted in the market. Because as we press forward, right? As we begin to dive in and we press forward into our six figures in 6 months, your precision, your accuracy, your ability to, just really operate in that patience, profit, and chase the skill set and not the profit. That is how you're going to obtain that. Okay. So we have to chase skill set. And that's actually how you're going to obtain it. So we know Independence Day. The weekend is coming up, right? Many people celebrate it as a holiday. Many people look at it as an opportunity to barbecue, and you want to think about the meaning behind it. And so what we're doing now is we're going to fight for our independence, right? We're going to fight for our freedom. We're going to fight for our financial wealth. We're going to fight for our generations, okay? So we have an Independence Day because we broke free from something. All right. We gained our independence. We broke free. And so now let's make that applicable to your life. So we're going to break free. We're going to break free from poverty. We're breaking free from debt. We're breaking free from bondage. We're breaking free from somebody else creating our value. We're breaking free. And so that's the mindset, right? Because tomorrow is the first. Yes, tomorrow is the first. And so we're going to begin to operate in independence. We're going to begin to operate, and you have to have that mindset, right? So you really have to have that mindset. And so as you log on this morning, make sure you're dropping it in the chat. I'm looking for you to drop it in the chat. I'm looking for you to tell me where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations, okay? Because how do we break free? We have to believe that we can. So in addition to that, if you believe that you can, if you believe that it's your independence, if you believe that you control your financial wherewithal, your destiny, you control all of that, let me get a 777 in the chat, because we're going to continue with the numbers we always use, because that means that we took profit. So I just want a 777 in the chat. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I want. That's what we're pressing for, right? So the entire month of July, we're not going to hold us down to one. I like the 777 times infinity. I love it. So we are not we're not stricken to just one day. We're going to celebrate this entire month, right? So this is our Independence Month. This is the month that we declare and decree that it belongs to us. This is the month that is ours. So we have a Independence Month, and we're going to operate in integrity. We're going to operate with the right mindset. We're going to eliminate all excuses, and we're going to execute at the highest level. That's what's going to happen. So what are our affirmations? I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades end in profit. I am 777. That is no excuse-itis. None. And so independence is what it is. So ladies and gentlemen, obviously you all add to it, right? You will not be denied. There it is. Obviously, you guys add to the affirmations, but you want to make sure that you're walking in it. So trust me, I see you all on the line this morning. Jacksonville, Minnesota, Toledo. Good morning, Minnesota. Good morning. right? Cleveland. Good morning, Jacksonville. Good morning, all of you all. London, Bahamas, Milwaukee, Lauderhill, right? I see you. Moultrie, Cleveland, I see you. And now I'm going to tell you, the only way that you will not accomplish this, Baton Rouge, good morning. You know, I got to celebrate. So that's where I'm from. So the only reason why you will not accomplish this is if you don't believe in yourself. Mindset. Do you believe in yourself? Do you operate on that level? Do you believe in yourself? And I just need all of you all today. Like, I just need each and every last one of you all to just, I believe in myself. I believe in myself because you notice people come, they go. But the only reason they go is because they don't believe in themselves, because the system works. So you must believe in yourself in order to obtain what is about to manifest. Do you believe in yourself? So let's go ahead. You have to trust the process. So let me go ahead and get my screen share. And guys, I'm telling you, if this is your first time here this morning, let me get a 111. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. And yes, that includes you all on YouTube and Facebook. I see you. All right. So that includes you all too. Yes, I'm talking to you. Do you all believe in yourself as well? That's all I want to know is, do you believe in yourself? My screen share is coming up. We're getting it together, right? So welcome, and welcome back. Welcome, and welcome back. All right, guys. So welcome and welcome back. Give me 1 second. Let me click refresh on this news so we can make sure all our numbers are populated. That is exactly what we want to do. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in here now. So I see you guys. Let me see. All right. We are good to go now. So now what we know is that we had news, right? There's some more news coming up. Now, I'm going to tell you, you know, this is not a red folder by far, but let's talk about it, okay? So we know we had the ADP report. Actually, I'm going to have to put this on today, and, you know, I'm going to have to put it on this week because it's already passed, so it's going to go away. All right, so let's talk. What are we looking for in the folders? So we know that and let's get on the right day. Let's come to Wednesday. So we know that there was some news in between the calls, and obviously it's green, so that means positive, right? That means it was positive. So we're looking at the impact that it has on, like we told you. Now let's talk about this. All right, let's talk about this. So we had movement, but we didn't have as much movement. Of course, I'm gonna walk through the strategy in a minute. I'm gonna walk you guys through what we see. But we had movement, but we didn't have as much movement as we anticipated, which is, it's okay because we told you to expect that, right? We told you to make sure that you're prepared for whatever the market does. We don't predict the market, we ride the wave. Now, let's talk about this. Now, if you've been watching Bloomberg, you've been tuning into financial news, you understand that right now, if you go out and you try to buy a house, it's going to cost you, you know, they're selling, like they're not sitting on the market. And they're also, selling at exceedingly higher than what they're even valued for. So, you know, that's just what's happening right now. And, you know, so what's happening is people want home ownership for, you know, I'm not paying $30,000 over the value of the home, but people are doing it. Okay. And so now what's causing is low inventory. And without getting into all of that, because I want you guys to start pushing the button. Now, this definitely has impact on the market, but this is where, even if it's not a red folder, you're paying attention to what's transpiring. You're paying attention to what's happening. You understand what's going on. So you know it's going to impact the market, because there is talk where some people say it won't be a housing bubble. Some people say it will be a housing bubble. It just all depends on who you hear from. The reality is low inventory, lots of buyers, you know, homes available, homes not available, right? And so what can ultimately happen, and I'll let Dr. Byford dive a little bit deeper into that. I'm not going to spend a whole call talking about housing bubbles and how it affects our economy, but go look it up. Go spend some time looking at that. And so with that and the inflation and everything that's happening, so right, yes, it is. Correction in the home market is well overdue, absolutely. And so with that, this is going to impact the market. And so this is going to impact our call this morning, right? That's going to impact our call this morning. And so just to, really kind of help you guys understand, this is why this report is important. So because you're tuned into financial news and not the CNNs and things of that nature and your MSNBCs and stuff, because you're tuned into financial news, you'll understand how important the housing market is to our economy. All right. And so now if I know that, then I understand how important this report coming out is to our market, right? And then, of course, it's during NFP week. So we have a lot of factors here, all right? There's a lot of factors. So what I'm going to do is spend a little time there. And, so now we're going to go analyze. So it's a possibility that this report comes out at 10 o'clock. So it's a possibility we don't get that type of push that we're talking about. Now, before I walk through the strategy, let me help you understand why this is important, right? Let me help you with that. Let me help you understand. So this is, like I said, this is NFP week, right? This is NFP week. And so you're looking for a push, you're looking for something, and why it's important for you to understand that. Now, we're going to come in here and we're going to analyze this. We're going to see what's happening. We're going to see how it impacts the market, but there are different ways that you can feel about it. So let's talk about that. And of course, because it's an indice-based call, it's a heavy indice focus. What that ultimately means is this is going to have more impact, right? It's going to have more impact. Like if I come back over here, right, you have a new 4-hour candle and I can see my 4-hour candle is trying to break through this barrier, right? And so USD has gained some strength. And here you see what it's doing with Euro USD, kind of some of the things that we discussed this morning. Do we still have that, or did I mark over it? No, I marked over it. So there was an AUD USD as well. So I really don't need these anymore. So let's see. So when I come over here and we look at this, you can kind of see all of them are kind of sitting on there. So let's talk about that, because obviously with their indices, look at this, look at how this is kind of stagnant right there. And I come back over here to my S&P. Okay, so there are three types of fundamental analysis. So you have your analysis. There are 3 types of analysis, not 3 types of fundamental. So you have your analysis, right? That where, and just bear with me, she tried to kill us this morning when I work out in between the calls. And so I'm just getting my thoughts together. That's what I meant earlier. So you have your, so when you have your technical analysis, you have your fundamental analysis and you have your sentiment. All right. So this is what we're going to see at the bell. So you have your fundamental analysis, which is the news, right? But we don't trade the news. So we do not trade the news. I cannot impact that enough. So how you trade does not change because it's non-farm payroll. How you trade does not change, but you still need to understand how it's going to impact the market. Now, when I turn around and I look at my technical analysis, that's without the fundamentals. That means we're going to come in and we're going to analyze what's taking place. Okay, we're going to analyze the market. We're going to analyze, right, blue line cross over the red, those sorts of things, right? We're going to analyze BYOB cash out strategy. Now, my sentiment is, how do they feel about it? This is why we don't take a trade before 9:30, which kind of goes back to the question that we had, because it was 5 o'clock. Now, the indices were moving prior to our 5 o'clock call. So yes, you traded then, but when I say prior to, I mean like right now. So you can see that the market will be moving. Now, okay, let me rephrase it. This is why I don't take a trade before 9:30. So, because I know some of you all do. But you'll see that the market is moving. You'll see the indices are moving. You will see, all of that. However, what happens is, how do they feel about it? So when they open, when that bell rings, sometimes the market will spike and then it'll pull back. It'll spike and then it'll pull back. Or, and I don't mean like a quote unquote pullback. I mean, the market will spike, it'll go one way and then it'll go do something else, right? So you might have everything in a line for a sell and then it'll spike up for a buy and then come back down and do a sell. So what you're seeing is the initial sentiment, the initial reaction, right? Let's make it make sense. Let's make it a person. Okay, let's make it make sense. Let's make it a person. So when something happens, Now, we should always vibrate at a higher frequency. We should always operate in greatness. But like, let's say something happens and you pop off, right? That person that lived for the clap back, that person that is looking to pop off. So that's that initial reaction. And later you come down and be like, you know what? My bad. I'm sorry. That's what the market's doing. It's like, what's my initial reaction? What's the sentiment? How do I feel about it? And then let me calm down after I think about it, right? So that's what the market does. So that's like my sentiment. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the BYOB cash out strategy. Now, guys, if you have any questions, comments, testimonies, or anything, as you know, we kind of go through this, then I definitely want to make sure that you get your questions answered, right? Definitely want to make sure that you get your questions answered, and when you get those questions answered, right, that's just something you definitely want to make sure, because today is just that day. We'll see if we get movement, but today is just that day. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about this buy. All right, we're gonna talk about this buy because this sale started. You see, I flipped way over here, but this sale didn't even activate till way over there. So let's talk about this buy, because anytime you look at it, I want to give you from a technical standpoint, where you can go in and see it with clarity, and then of course you can kind of add to that, right? That's ultimately, what you want to do. So now, as you're seeing this, now also all those GBPs and all the stuff you guys was looking at before, they're moving. And, if they probably will get a push at the bell as well, right? So they've been moving, but they'll probably get a push at the bell as well. So we looked at it, take your profits, right? Don't hesitate, make sure you take your profit. Now, here I am on a 5-minute chart. So for those of you all that was on this morning's call and everything else. So here we are on a 5-minute chart. All right. Now, because it's indices, I can be on my 5-minute chart. If it's crypto, I could be on my 5-minute chart, right? So here I am on my 5-minute chart. Now, for those of you all who are new and still learning, you want to be on a 15-minute chart and you want to do 10 pips and cash out. You want to learn support and resistance lines before we start touching crypto and indices, okay? I want you to learn support and resistance lines. I can't make you learn support and resistance lines, but I want you to learn. It will help you tremendously. Now, so we're here because of the liquidity, and we're going to trade two support and resistance lines. That is our take profit. It's not a specific number of points. We're trading, that's what you call zone to zone, okay? Now, here, I'm around my 20, and I have that blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, right? Blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum around the 20. So here, that blue line cross over the red, upward momentum. That means I'm looking for a buy. Now, remember, I'm on a lower time frame, so I still don't know the big picture of the market, but this is where you scalp, or this is what you use as tighter entries. So now I'm looking for that green candle with a flat bottom and that PSAR flip. So that's what I'm looking for, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna grab this arrow and I'm gonna drop it right here, because we're going to flip charts, right? We're going to go from one chart to another. And so just kind of want to make sure that you guys, you see that. So here, blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, green candle, flat bottom, PSAR flip to the bottom, okay? So now what I need to do is go to my 30. So that's where my confluence is, on my 30. I'm going to switch over to my 30-minute, and there's absolutely no way I'm taking a trade right now. No, not going to happen. You do not have confluence. I don't even have anything telling me I could drop down. So because of the amount of liquidity in the market, so with Forex, we notice this with our GBPs, right? But with our indices, obviously we can do it on indices because it has a lot of liquidity in the market. So I'm gonna put this here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So now I have a nice strong red candle and my stochastic is pointed down. And this candle is protruding lower than the previous candle. So there's absolutely nothing there that says I could drop down. There's nothing that's giving me indication. All that indicates is a pullback. Anything that's buying on the other time frame is a pullback. So what time was it? Let's see, because we're going to wait for the next 30-minute candle. So we only have 5 minutes to wait. You only have 5 minutes. So let's drop this for the next 30-minute candle. You look at I know somebody's asked me about the time before, but when I look at these times, I'm looking at the time. Like, I know that every 30 minutes is a 30-minute candle. So I'm not looking at 9, right? I'm not coming here looking at 9:25. I'm looking at the 25. So I know that means that That's the 25-minute mark. So that means it's only 5 minutes till I get my next candle. So you guys got that? So I come here, and now when I look at this one, yeah, my stochastic is still down, but I'm seeing this candle is starting to pull back some. I'm much more comfortable with that. And you can't trade from here, but I'm more comfortable with that. And so when I drop down, I can see now my 30-minute is starting to go into that buy, right? My 30-minute, look at my stochastic, right? So because there's so much liquidity, I know I can trade to the next support and resistance line. Let me drop down. You guys saw for the first time we had where the 5-minute kept us out of a trade this morning, right? So when you drop, or basically that drop down. And so what we're focused on is your precision. There are going to be some trades that you might want to take that you let ride. All right. And even if they play out, you're like, you know what, man, do not doubt yourself. Understand that it's okay, because you don't have to take every trade. So we want to take the trades we're sure about, because they all don't play out and you don't want to sit on that side. So now as this is moving up here, right, that is still buying. And, you know, here now, where am I trading? To my first support and resistance line. That's ultimately where you were trading. So you take profit, and ultimately you've been walking in about 38 points. Okay. So voila, BYOB cash out. And now let me tell you, you know, this is where you guys can begin to increase your lot size, or you can begin to increase the amount of pips or points you go for, right? This is where they do that. Okay. This is where that takes place. So I still need to know what's happening in the market in order for me to take trades, whether I just want 10, whether I want 5, whether I want 2, you know, I still need to know. But at the end of the day, you know, because that's going to help me. But at the end of the day, just because you understand the market doesn't mean a scalper has to become a swing trader. You still trade how you trade. But what you can do is just now begin to increase your lot size. Or you can say, you know what, I want to let these trades sit and I'm going to let them go. So let's look at what's going on in the market right now. Let's see. We still have our same markups from yesterday. We still have our bolded areas. Okay. So you see everything look like it's pulling for a sell. This just triggered. So let's analyze it. I'm going to delete I'm going to delete this. Okay. Because we don't need it anymore, because that was just to show you the strategy. So any questions, comments, or testimonies? Anybody? Because I know we're going to have a build here in a minute, but I just want to make sure that you guys, you know, we understand. All right. So here, I'm going to use this line, and I'm going to change it to that call price. We dropped the support and resistance line there, but I'm going to actually change it. I think I'm going to change it. My thing been, okay, I'm like, goodness gracious, my computer we're not doing that. Say, I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. There we go. We're not doing that. All right. So you can see where this is, right? So it triggered on a 15-minute, and it triggered for a sale. So that literally was 15 minutes ago. So now as I look at this, okay, that would have been this candle right over here, right? Because it's, you know, you look at 15 minutes ago, so it would have been this one, and it's typically caught in a correction. So let me check my hour. You see, this is a new hour candle, right? That's a new hour candle. And so you definitely can see where we are right here, right? I can see that. So now let's check my higher time frame and see what's going on. I'm still putting a support and resistance line back right here because I'm not comfortable not having one. That's our call price, right? That's our call price. But I have to respect those zones. I have to. Now, so here we go, and you can kind of see, like I said right here, where we have that momentum. Now, where this thing goes, everything looked like it should sell, right? Everything looks like it should sell. Everything looks like it should sell. Everything, you know. However, what I want you to remember is we just had news. So my 4 hour is selling. We still have space and opportunity. My 1 hour, my stochastic is beginning to curve. We still have space and opportunity. So Look at this. Look how we were getting the curve down. Look like my 30 is waiting on a PSAR flip. My 15 looks beautiful for a sale. I don't care how good this looks. I'm not touching it before. Not touching it before. I'm not touching it before. Okay, before that bell. This is kind of probably where that mindset came from, right? So that means it'll probably be breaking through here because we are moving. I know some of you guys probably was already in it. Everything looked like we are gearing up for a sale. So we're just gonna get ready, get ready, get ready. If this, but I want you to be careful because of the report, right? This thing can go down and then turn around and go back up, or it can go up and then turn around and go back down. So, and the housing report, so we might be ending this call a tad bit early because we're not gonna put you on a trade before the news. The housing market is a hot topic right now, right? That's a hot topic. So that means that investors and people are looking at that. So it might not be a red folder, but at this, sometimes circumstances can make it a important folder, right? Because we've never not done it for like a red folder. But so you guys been paying? Let me get a 555 if you have been paying attention with the housing market. So a 555 if you've been paying attention. All right, there it is. So we understand what I mean. You guys understand what I'm talking about. You guys understand. And if you have not been, if you're not dropping a 555, now's your opportunity after the call to go look it up, because we're going to make sure you're empowered, right? Empower people, empower people. And if we have you all in here understanding the market, knowing how to utilize the tools, making money, working on your 6 figures, you know, guess what? You're going to empower someone else. That you're going to be so excited and ready to run. I mean, even the profits that I've seen, there was a 777 in the chat yesterday for somebody that's been enrolled for 6 days. Do you understand? That's focus. That's discipline. That's dedication. Never traded before. That means that we all can do it. We just have to commit to ourselves we have to commit to the process. Hold on. All right, so let's make sure we're dropped down on everything. Let's check out gold. Gold still kind of sitting in that same space. So all these same markups, right? You guys know all these are the same markups. So look at what's happening. I do not like that, but I don't like it. I told you guys gold will probably hang out in here until Friday. Bitcoin, right? So look at all of them. Bitcoin still hanging out in here. We shall see, is this one even? Look, Bitcoin just triggered for a sell as well. It triggered twice. So you have this. So we got about 3 minutes. So let's drop the call price on Bitcoin. Let's drop our call price. 334. All right. You see right there where we are. And that top is in the sale. My hours, click the right one. That's oversold, but it's in the sale. And then you kind of see. All right. All right. So everything is on a 5 minute. Now, if we have time, I'll kind of go back to a question that I was asked this morning about, you know, the market being overbought, because if you notice that those GBPs, it pulled up a little bit before it pulled down, just to kind of, you know, put it in perspective. And it's kind of what we talked about. So I'll definitely show you. All right, here we go. We're down to a minute. Down to a minute. Does everybody, you guys with me? You understand what we're talking about right now? Are you with me? All right, we're down to almost 30 seconds. Look, almost 30 seconds. Correct. Correct. For scalping, absolutely. Indices on the 5, Forex on the 15. It moves so much faster. Now, honestly, you can trade indices on the hour if that's what you choose to do. But yeah, you can trade it on the hour. So Yeah, you honestly, yes, you're welcome. All right, we got about 15 seconds. Look how it's starting to pull up. So we're gonna see. We might not be doing anything, but going back to answering questions. And if you jump at anything, secure your profit. Please don't make donations to the market. See how, look at the reaction that's taking place right now. Let's see what the S&P is doing. See how all of them shot up? So that told you the news was positive. So you see how everything was in alignment for a sale, and what's happening right now? What in the world is going on? Right? That's why, now that is why we don't get in a trade before, right? That is why we do not get in a trade prior to. Okay? We don't get in a trade prior to. No, ma'am, no, sir. Because you guys would have been ready for a sale, and now you'd be mad with me. So this one is trying to curve back up. So that was a new 30-minute candle that popped up. Look at my stochastic curving, starting to get some curve to it. Respect this zone. You see it rejected here, rejected there, rejected there. So obviously, if you don't wear your super scalper t-shirt, you're gonna wait till it bypasses through here. Even my NASDAQ look like it's trying to pull up. So see, look at my super scalpers. S&P just made it up to there. That's what I meant. You guys gonna see it. But if you have not, right? Now, did I disregard any of the rules? No, but you understand where you're at. You understand where you're trading. So if you are not a super scalper, but you're a scalper, see, there's a difference to a super scalper and a scalper. A super scalper just dropped 777. You guys, you know, you win that, right? And they're ready, finger on the trigger, ready to go. My scalpers kind of wait, look for the alignment. They just want the pips, the points, and they're going to be out. So you guys are kind of waiting until you get right here. So you see the difference? You know, we're going to make up some words in BYOB. We're going to make it make sense. So there's a scalper, and then there's a super scalper. Is that 777? Did you just say profit? Is that profit? Is that US 30 profit? Or is that you understand? Talk to me, because I'm going to celebrate. Because I know we have not been doing this long at all. We're like, what, 2 weeks in? So, okay, but I still want you pushing buttons. Because I see you. You trust me, I know who is on these calls. I know who's doing what. So, you know, a great live sample of how the market affects our trading, contrary to what the charts are insinuating. Absolutely. So we're gonna see, do we keep moving or what is it we do? And then we're gonna go back over there and talk, because you see that's a push, and then it might slow down. So I'm dropping because you see how this is kind of flattening out against this line? That's why I said you guys need to let it bypass that to confirm that we're really gonna have some movement, or is it gonna stop there? So super scalpers already have my 777s, right? If you're not a super scalper, you don't touch it like that, right? If you are not a super scalper, you do not touch it like that. And look how this pulled, look at this. See how it shot up and pulled back down? So that's why I said this one, it would have to bypass that to confirm that we're gonna buy. So same thing, this one kind of stopped right here. So let's see what's happening. Look how this pulled back. So that was that initial spike out of the market. That's what we just talked about. Now look how this is pulling down. Remember, our higher time frames are geared up for a sell, right? So everything that we just discussed is actually happening right now. Ha-ha. So this is why you have to know if you're a scalper or a super scalper. Which one are you? Super scalpers do not try to ride it out. They don't. Trust me, they don't. They are not trying to ride it out. Matter of fact, tonight's call, our super scalpers love, and scalpers love actually, but super scalpers, yeah, super scalper. Scalp. So now's the time, because obviously you see what is slowing down. That report is coming out. Look at how this wicked out now. So let us see. Look, we're by past it here. So hold on. Look. But look. So you notice I have to flip charts. You guys have to have your charts up too. So you see that? That's a new 5-minute candle. So I just want you to understand, when this bell rings, you're probably scalping. If you are trading, like, look at how this pulled up now on this hour. Let's see, look at my 4 hours starting to curve. Do you guys see that? See, do you guys see that? If you didn't push the button, it's okay. At least can you see what's transpiring, right? Can you see it? If you push the button, awesome. If you didn't push the button, just make sure you're learning and understanding the process. Look at my NASDAQ, right? Look at my NASDAQ. So what we're doing is we're analyzing. I'm walking you through the analyzation. So this one, look, it's pulling back up now. So once again, that line is significant. Okay. This is why we look at the higher time frame. You know, once again, like I told you guys yesterday, if I'm looking at it, and from the way I see it, when I take my children outside to play, my higher time frame gives me the boundary lines. My higher time frame gives me my boundaries, like what zone, which area should I be in, right? That's gonna give me my boundary lines. However, when I come and I look at, you know, so then they can come play anywhere within that boundary. So gold has got a lot of consolidation happening right here. When you kind of look at it, see the consolidation that's taking place inside of gold. And so we're going to leave gold alone. Gold is doing exactly what we said. So it's doing what we said. It's doing what we said. Bitcoin look like it's trying to comply, but it's got, I wouldn't touch it till it bypasses some of this right there. Just a little food for thought. All right, questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right, let me see here. All right, so while we ride that, okay, while we ride that, and we, you know, while we continue to ride that, we'll have another candle there in just a moment. What was I trying to show you? So you see how the US dollar strengthened. Now, this is how it impacts on this side, because we talked about the market being oversold, right? This is a new 4-hour candle. So do you see how it was pulling up? That you guys almost got up in this area right here. And so you think about everything that we discussed this morning. And so about how the market can pull up. And then of course, what happened now, look, because of the reports, because of momentum, now we're here. So if this breaks this, I'm just saying, look how this one is almost broke. So, well, not broke, it not almost, it did break it. So this one actually went back up to this line. So it's now pulling back down because we were oversold. And that's kind of what we talked about. The market is not just gonna go straight. Like it's just not gonna go where, you know, right? It's just not gonna go in a straight line. So it has to have some sort of pullback. And so you can kind of see how that's playing out. So for those of you all who know GDPs and everything. So this is our US 30. We're almost up to this point. Let me get us to take profit somewhere up in here. I want you paying attention. This one, obviously, thicken that one up a little bit. That's going to be an important one. And of course, in the midst of you have the other ones on the lower time frames in here. And then that's that other thick one. I actually will probably thicken this one up right here. But we'll see how far up it goes. Looks like we're coming up to about right there right now, definitely. See how we're still moving? That's a new 3-minute candle. So this is actually moved. So some of you guys didn't touch it till here, right? So, but the overall movement thus far from that, there we go, to here, right? Oh, look at that, 152. Ooh. Right? So, but for those of you all who waited, so some of you all might be around 70, and then some of you all are actually here around 30. It all depends. It all depends. But I need you to secure your profit because I already told you what kind of market we have. So I definitely need you to secure your profit. I don't need you to do nothing else if you don't secure your profit. All right. Any questions? Any comments? Don't get quiet on me this morning. Y'all had real good questions this morning. Let's learn. Let's get intentional, right? Let's be intentional about our success. Let's be intentional. Let's be intentional about our success. That is what we're doing. We're intentional. We're intentional traders, right? Seriously, guys, come on. Are you all ready for this? Like, do you really understand the power of what's about to manifest? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? 6 months to 6 figures? This is the second half of the year. Do you understand the transformation? How many of you all, let me ask you a question. How many of you all made New Year's resolutions? The market, this can probably gonna slow down. Make sure you secure your profits. How many of you all made New Year's resolutions? Real talk. Let's just be real. Just drop it in the chat. If you made a New Year's resolutions, drop it in the chat. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about why we shouldn't have any. But if you did, so yeah, you guys could drop it because I know some of you did anyway, right? So if you did, if you dropped it, it's like, is my mic on? Y'all quiet this morning. If you made a New Year's resolution, if you did it, I want you to understand that's not what's going. See, there we go. You really don't. That's good. But some people do. And so if you did, it's okay. And I say it's okay because we're having that shift of mindset, right? This is the year of transformation. So you're going to understand why we don't make them. It's a false goal because the only reason you're doing it is because it's the first of the year, right? New year, new me, new reset, right? So what we're doing is we're just riding the concept, but we understand that it doesn't matter what day you start because what's important is your commitment, your persistency, and your discipline. That is what's important. So no, we don't make New Year's, your mindset has changed because you made a commitment to yourself. You made a commitment. Most of the time, like, oh, I'm gonna go lose weight. Oh, I'm gonna go do this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna learn the skill set. Oh yeah, I'm like, why do we put stuff off into the new year? And so the point I'm getting at is here we are halfway through the year. And this is when people start feeling some kind of way. They start having gut checks. They start feeling all of those things. And with those things, that's where a shift kind of takes place. You see, the market's still kind of moving. That's why we're sitting here looking at it as I talk. So it's slowing down though. But as we're doing those things and as we kind of make that shift, this is why we have to we're resetting ourselves. And I want you guys to reset your mindset because if you haven't accomplished what you set out to accomplish, I want you to celebrate your success. I want you to celebrate what you did accomplish. I want you to celebrate, the fact that you're still in the process, you're still willing to commit to yourself, but now it's time to get it done. It's time to get it done this morning. We're almost to this take profit. It's like, get there, get there, get there. So now it's just time to get it done. And I'm just ready to get it done. Right. And that's why I told you guys this morning, I am also going to start a new trade account with you all. So I'm going to make me some more 6 figures too. So we're all in this together. So it's not just you, right? It's not just, it's not just you saying, you know what, it's great. She did 6 figures. No, it's we're doing 6 figures. So we're going to focus on that this month. We're going to do that. We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on, come on, come on. That's not how you trade, though. I'm just in a good mood this morning. You cannot root the trade on. You have to analyze it. But, all right. So, questions, comments, testimonies? Look at that. Your mindset has been changing since joining BYOB. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I love it. And that's what's going to happen. So that's ultimately, the trading is easy. Trading is easy. Trading is easy. It is the mindset that limits us. Trading is easy. It is your mindset that limits you, right? You have to, I don't care what it is that you do. We're going to apply this to everything. Yes, speak it. I don't care what somebody tell you, no, it's not it's something. No, it's just different. It's not difficult. It's different. Then you learn how to drive? Oh, okay. I thought so. Did you say, oh, driving is so hard? Did we ever say that? Driving is so hard. No, it was like, I got this. I'm going to learn how to drive. Think about the conversations you had when you were kids. I'm an expert. I got this. This too easy. See, you're right. You know how you talked and was boasting and bragging and you never put your foot behind the wheel? You never sat in the driver's seat? That's where I need you. That's where I need you. Trading is easy. I got this. I got this. That same boldness and confidence that you operated in, that's where I need you. That's how you're going to get it done. That's how you're going to cross the finish line. That's it, right? Trading is easy. It's your mindset that'll take you out. It's your mindset. Your mindset is the only thing that can take you out. Nobody else can take you out. It's your mindset. So today, you make a decision. Today is decision time because tomorrow's the first. Today is decision time. This morning gave you a boost. So it gave you a boost. Praise God. Now, you see how we're really close to this? Let's talk about that. And then we're going to go ahead and close out unless you guys got other questions. So let's talk about that. So here, remember I told you guys I adjust my stop losses, my take profits, right? So let's look at this. So we knew that we know the market's slowing down. I told you guys secure your profits. So secure your profits. So now what happens is there's a zone around these take profits, right? It's no such thing as a definitive line. So I'm gonna actually put the line chart on so maybe you can kind of see it. So now you can kind of see that is we're spot on, right? But you see right in there. All right, I want you to pay attention to this. Come down here, you start seeing more, like you see where that dip right there. You see how I put that zone around that line? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my Hikanashi candles back on. Now you see right here where it's kind of wicked and it almost touched it. This is why you guys see me make those adjustments to my support and resistance line. Even when we pull from the harmonic scanner, I make those adjustments because if I'm buying, I put it below a little bit. If I'm selling, then I put it above. Okay. I always make an adjustment to my take profit. My broker will never have an adjustment on me. You'll never hear me say, oh, I didn't take profit. I didn't make it. I don't know why the trade turned around. I'm making the adjustment. Okay. So you made the decision. You get in your car and you're driving. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. No other questions, no comments, no testimonies. We're going to go ahead and close out. We know we got news in about 15 minutes. And you guys know look at this. See what I mean? Why we didn't? So we know we have news in about 15 minutes. It's housing market. So, all right. So at 9 p.m., clarity on what? You got to ask a question. Clarity on what? You have tried to do support and resistance, but it's grayed out. I have no idea. You just come over here, you grab the little trend line tools, grab the horizontal line, come over here and click the stop line. Oh, if you're a C, you gotta be clear. I can't see what you see. So the stop loss, that means that let's talk stop loss real quick. Now, and she does a good job as far as explaining that, but on the basics call. But let's talk. So my stop loss goes below the PSAR. That means that my number has to be lower, right? No, that means that you're too close to it, right? Remember we talked about the numbers here and then your broker are a little different, right? These numbers can be a little bit different. Plus you have to include the spread. If you are using the spread, right? If you are this is where, you see what I'm saying? Like this is where those numbers are, but what's the spread? If I pick up my phone right now, all right, if I pick up my phone, let me see. Let me pick up my phone and let me pull up my US 30. With my broker, the spread say 227. So, right, it say 227. We know of obviously one of them, but that's 227. So you have to make that adjustment in here. So you're too close to your profit. That's all it is. And the number has to be below. So the number has to be below. It just has to be below. So yeah, I mean, this is still moving. So you just have to play with it. I can't tell you I can't tell you where you should be. I can tell you that if I come here and I'm at 3, I'm trying to move it up, and that's 34400, then I have to be below here, right? I have to be below there. So you just have to, and I got the wrong thing, but you just have to, I just moved this. It might not be able to be here, but it's going to be here somewhere. You got to play and make sure that the numbers are lower. But then on top of that is your broker numbers the same. Remember, we talked about indices, the numbers are different. So it's going to depend on your broker. So I can't tell you where you should be. Your broker might be 2 points off. I've seen brokers 50 points off, right? Or just a 50-point difference from what's on this chart. And it's no rhyme or reason to it, and nothing's wrong, right? Absolutely nothing's wrong. But I can't tell you, you just have to like play with it. Look, we just broke it anyway. So as we kind of gear up, so it's starting to move again. So we just broke it anyway, right? And so that's ultimately what you're looking at. So, all right, makes sense? So you just have to play with it. So you move it up. Is it in between here? You move it up. And so play with it. I suggest playing with it in your demo account. The best way to learn how to swim, the best way to learn how to drive is play with it, play with it. Some people could put makeup on while they drive, and some people that would ride off the side of the road put no makeup. So it's going to be a custom, so if it was bearish, it will go and stay the course. It will have to correct and go bullish. If it was to go bearish, you have to analyze the charts. You cannot have a generic answer like that. Let the market tell you. Let me ask you this. You have a relationship with someone. Can you make a blanket decision every single time that something transpires? Can it, can it be a blanket response like, okay, if I bring dinner at 5, she's not gonna be hungry till 5:30, right? She eat dinner at 5:30 every single day, So we know the bell ring at 9:30, dinner should be around, but or if I do this, then she's gonna react that way. You have a relationship, so you understand the vibe, you understand what triggers somebody, you understand what makes them smile, you understand those things. But is every single time you do something gonna make that? If every time you do the exact same thing, every time I make the bed in the morning, is that gonna make me smile, or is that something that I'm gonna expect you to do, right? So it's a relationship. We gotta nurture that relationship. We have to, so should it continue to buy? Should it correct? Absolutely. However, it's a relationship. So you cannot look at it where, it's a blanket answer. The market does this, then it does that, then it does this. Get the vibe of the market. It's going to tell you. You just have to listen. I promise you. You heard our educators say, when I used to tell them the market's going to talk to you, they thought I was crazy. But now they hear it. They hear the market, right? Just think about it. People say, I heard from God. People think you're crazy. But as you build that relationship, you know exactly what he's saying. That's the same thing. All right? Don't play the numbers, play the market. All right, guys. Love you guys so much. All right, Miss Brownlee.
Yes, we thank you so much for all of the instruction and encouragement that you give us. And oh God, our God, how we honor your presence. In your presence is fullness of joy, and at your right hand, pleasures forevermore. We praise you. We know that who the Son makes free is free indeed. And we are indeed free to walk in integrity, executing in the highest level. And we're free to turn this world upside right. We are free to make right and accurate choices. And we are free to create generational wealth. We decree and declare that You have given us a liberty that many of us never thought we would ever experience. So we will operate in the vibration and frequency that matches this liberty. We are so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for our dream team. They are dynamite, God. And we thank you for Mr. Rogers, Ms. Dyer, Dr. Bythewood, for our second generation of educators, Mrs. Anderson, Mrs. Brantley, Ms. Perry, and Mr. Sims. Thank you, God, for their love for us and their commitment to prepare us to reach out to the next million households by March 28, 2022. They too will be empowered, impacted, and educated just as we are. And as this month comes to a close, God, this has been a great month. We expectantly enter the 6-month, 6-figure half of this year. And we do that, God, rejoicing because you are the joy and the rejoicing of our heart. And it's in Jesus' name that we give praise and thanks to you. Amen and amen and amen. This concludes the prophet call, and we'll meet you tonight at 9 p.m. And let us go our way rejoicing as we're looking forward to our 6-figure 6th month in the next 6 months. God bless you.